Welcome back. I'm Sarah Brobeck with ALM, and today I want to talk to you about the day I found my people. So let's talk about it. There are moments in life that you don't realize that change you until years later. For me, one of those moments was walking through the doors at the Laundry and Linen College. At the time, I wasn't looking for a career in laundry. I certainly wasn't looking to lead an association. I was simply trying to survive. I was struggling to run a healthcare laundry, and like many of you, I was doing everything I could to keep the operation moving while becoming the leader that my team needed. The health system I worked for invested heavily in leadership development. I had access to finance experts, infection prevention specialists, OSHA resources, leadership training. But when it came to running a laundry, I was completely alone. Who do you call when your tunnel isn't running efficiently? Who understands the challenges of linen utilization, staffing shortages, productivity, chemistry, customer expectations, and trying to do more with less? I didn't know anyone. Every challenge felt like it was mine alone to solve. And then someone suggested that I attend the Laundry and Linen College. And honestly, I thought I was just going to go there to learn how to run the laundry better. I had no idea I was about to find my future. There's power of walking into the right room. When I walked into that classroom, something unexpected happened. Yes, I learned, but what changed me wasn't sitting through the presentations. It was looking around the room. For the first time in my career, I was surrounded by people who understood exactly what I was going through. People who had struggled, people who had failed, people who had solved the problems I hadn't yet figured out. There were people who were willing to help me. There wasn't competition. There wasn't ego. It was generosity. There were conversations during the breaks. They changed me. Those late night discussions, those relationships, it changed everything. Some of those people are still among my closest friends today. You know who you are. Looking back, I realized I didn't leave with just a notebook full of ideas. I left with a network, and that network changed my life. So here are a few lessons I've learned along the way. Lesson 1, leadership was never meant to be lonely. For years, I believed that good leaders figured everything out on their own. I thought asking for help meant I wasn't qualified, and I couldn't have been more wrong. The best leaders I know ask incredible questions. They seek advice and surround themselves with people who challenge their thinking. Leadership isn't about pretending you know everything. It's about being humble enough to keep learning. If you're carrying the weight of every decision by yourself, you don't have to. Lesson 2, your career will grow at the speed of your relationships. People often ask me what made the biggest difference in my career. It wasn't a promotion, it wasn't a certification, and it wasn't even my education. It was the relationships. Every meaningful opportunity that I had can be tracked back to someone I met through the industry, someone who encouraged me, someone who challenged me, someone who opened a door for me. Knowledge matters. Relationships multiply that knowledge. Never underestimate the value of building genuine connections with people who want to see you succeed. Lesson 3, stop trying to be the expert. This one took me a while. Early in my career, I believed that my value came from having all the answers. Today, I know that my value comes from asking better questions. Questions create conversations, and conversations create ideas, and ideas create innovation. If your team feels safe bringing you problems, you've already won half the battle. The smartest leaders in the room isn't always the one talking. It's the one listening. I still have an issue with that. Lesson 4, say yes before you feel ready. After attending the laundry college, people began asking me to get involved. Will you serve on a committee? Will you help us with this project? Will you teach CLLM review sessions? And if I'm honest, most of those opportunities scared me to death. I didn't feel qualified. I wondered if someone else would actually be better. But every time I said yes, I grew. Growth rarely happens inside your comfort zone. And sometimes you have to borrow confidence from people who already see your potential. Lesson 5, leave it better than you found it. Eventually, I joined those committees and then I became an instructor. Later, I served on the board of directors. Today, I have the incredible privilege as serving as the president and CEO for ALM. People sometimes assume that that's the part of the story that I'm most proud of, but it isn't. The part I'm most proud of is having the opportunity to have someone else experience what I experienced because I know what it's like to be alone. I know what it feels like to discover that you're not. And everything I do today comes back to one simple question. How do we create that experience for someone else? How do we help the next leader find their people sooner than I did? Because that's what changes careers and that's what changes organizations. And ultimately, that's what changes an industry. So let me give you an example. One of the instructors that I had at the college actually loved my enthusiasm and he could tell that I was really struggling and he did not want me to get discouraged. So he offered the opportunity to come to my plant and help take a look at it and see what was going on with my specific operation. That was a defining moment for me. I don't know where I would be if he hadn't offered uh, to do that because he spent time with me. We walked around, we looked at my equipment, we looked at my processes, we looked at what was going on in my plant and my specific situation. And that helped me to understand what I needed to do, how to apply the education that I was getting to a real life scenario. And that is the kind of network that we all need in our corner. I can't promise you that there's going to be someone out there that's going to do that exact thing, but hopefully there is. That's what we're trying to do here at ALM. We always want to be here for you and try to see if we can put resources and people and things at your disposal to help make you better, to help make you not feel alone. So, one final thought for you. As I look back, there wasn't one moment that made me a better leader. There were hundreds. One conversation, one mentor, one class, one volunteer opportunity, one person who believed in me before I believed in myself. Those moments are what added up. If you're listening today and you're early in your leadership journey, I hope you'll remember this. Don't isolate yourself. Find people who challenge you, find people who encourage you, and find people who will tell you the truth. But most importantly, be that person for someone else because someone did that for me. And if they hadn't, I have no idea where my career would have taken me. Today, I have the privilege of leading the organization that helped change my life. And that is not something I take for granted. If ALM has taught me anything, it's taught me this. None of us builds a meaningful career alone. We build it one relationship at a time, one lesson at a time, one opportunity at a time. I'm Sarah Brobeck with ALM. Until next time, keep learning, keep leading, and remember, the strongest leaders aren't the ones with all the answers. They're the ones that help other people discover what's possible. Thanks for joining me for Let's Talk About It with Sarah. I'll see you next time.